Let us continue with Tyranny.
Sorry, I can't.
The path behind you is now blocked. Kairos' magic has sealed the valley. Crucifixion, how lovely. Shit, I didn't even know this was here. This must be a little Easter egg. I've played this game before and I never went this way. Need lore to do that. I believe these lore requirement things are usually like mage spell stuff. So if we can come back here, I'll come back here with the mage. The ancient Weeping Mother statue pays homage to the Queen Lysarius. Oh, I didn't finish reading. First of her name, fresh water once flowed from this statue, but when Kairos' forces attacked Vendrian's well in 429, the statue began weeping blood and has done so ever since. Kairos, the Overlord be praised! When I heard the avalanche, I feared the valley was sealed with you on the other side. The disfavored warrior claps her gauntlet to her breastplate, the traditional salute of her legion. We were told a Fatebinder was coming, and though our commanders will not say why, it seems obvious. Graven Ash and the Voices in Herat, once again remember, Graven Ash, leader of the Purple People, the disfavored. Voices in Herat, leader of the Red People, the Scarlet Chorus. Voices in Herat is like the Spy Master. He's also called the Archon of Secrets, and he's really shady, and then Graven Ash is like an old man general. Anyway. Graven Ash and the Voices in Herat can agree on nothing, least of all battle plans to wipe out the Oathbreakers. I trust you to bring orders from Tunon that will break this deadlock, so I'll also read this. The Oathbreakers they refer to, in honor of the Vendrian Guard reneging on the surrender of 429, soldiers in both the Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus now refer to these tiersmen as Oathbreakers. It is perhaps one of the few points of agreement between the Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus. So yeah, the locals that rebelled and promised they wouldn't fight, well, they promised they wouldn't fight, then they ended up rebelling. So yeah, they're known as Oathbreakers. I come bearing an edict of Kairos. Our soldiers will complete their task, or they will die. The edict is leveled against us? Her eyes widen with fear. Her posture slackens. But the Scarlet Chorus prevents us from taking action. Why would the Overlord punish both of... She clears her throat with a sigh. Forgive me. It is not my place to question. We should have conquered the enemy within weeks of arriving in the Citadel. The delay reflects poorly on all of us. Your first instinct is to blame the Scarlet Chorus? No wonder Kairos resorts to an edict to enforce order. Yes, well, her eyes shift to the side. There has indeed been little goodwill between our armies, and you are right. When we act as we do, what choice do we give the Overlord? She takes a deep breath, nodding as she exhales. You're right. I should not cast blame so freely, especially not when talking to a servant of justice. My apologies. Well, you've traveled a long way. I won't keep you any further. I'm sure the Archons will want to hear from you. Her voice falls silent, her attention snapping eastward with alarm. Did you hear that? More runners. Third time this week. The Oathbreakers keep trying to send messengers to the mountains to gather help from the outside valley. She points to the collapsed path by which you arrived. They're a bit too late for that now, though. Come, let's show these Oathbreakers a good fight.
Right.
That's one down. Let's check further along the path for more. Desiccated corpses line the road of victory to Vendrian's Well, an example of the fate that awaits all those who resist Kairos.
Sorry, I can't.
Move boulder. Press your weight against the boulder directly in your path to move it. Nice.
I got it. Sorry, I can't.
Don't bother with me. Go down to the pass. Trastus. The soldier clutches his gut and winces. You can see a hint of entrails between his finger. You're wounded, and it's not trivial. He laughs through clenched teeth. This? But a scratch. I've seen twice as worse 10 times over. He doubles over in pain, gagging and shivering. If you would let me help you. I said I'm fine! Graven Ash protects. You go on and help the others. Alright, bro. Our character was conscripted against her will, so she is a bit of a savage by necessity, but she's not without humanity. Several skulls, bleached by the sun and picked clean by carrion birds, are spiked on a roughly hewn post. It is the only heraldry the Scarlet Chorus needs. Scarlet Chorus likes to have gruesome displays of power, I guess.
Try and catch me, worm.
A young Scarlet Fury weaves around the Vendrian Guard attackers, avoiding their weapons with fluid grace. She nods to acknowledge you. Vendrian Guard are just more of the rebels. There's a few different factions. The Vendrian Guard is the army of the landlocked realm of Apex, defenders of the central region of the Tiers. Named for House Vendrian, the ruling dynasty of Apex, the Guard has a reputation for being as resilient and stubborn as the mountains beneath them. Ostensibly beaten by Kairos' armies and forced to surrender in 429, the Vendrian Guard resurfaced in 431, brazenly defying the Overlord's rule. And we've got Scarlet Fury, which is what she is. Scarlet Furies are the elite fighters of the Scarlet Chorus, distinguished by their graceful attacks and murderous persistence. Better armed and trained than most Chorus conscripts, the Furies are found among the vanguard of battle. Their brutal displays of skill inspiring bloodlust in the masses and fear in the enemy. A breathless enemy soldier passes a glance to her countrymen. This one's crazy too. Too much lead in her water. We should cut our losses and turn back.
Harbinger. Still standing after 3 years of war. Come join me in battle once again. We'll show these children how it's done.
So yeah, you get different titles based on your conquest decisions. I don't know all of them, but apparently I got Harbinger, so... You spent the first year of the war fighting along Kairos' soldiers on the field of battle. Tunon demands all his Fatebinders to know war before they judge it. Given the choice of assignments, you elected to join the forward elements of the Scarlet Chorus, tasked with moving ahead of the main battle line. Known among each other as the Harbingers, this group of first veterans is a dying breed these days, but those still alive, such as the Scarlet Fury you know as Verse, are now some of the most accomplished and fearsome warriors in the Scarlet Chorus. Okay, so she was in it too. For the realm of Apex, charge! The Vendrian Guard level their weapons in advance.
On my command!
This has also got a more, if you can see, you see sometimes I get like, I just gained a skill point in dodge or whatever. It's kind of like Skyrim where you gain skill points in what you do. So yeah, over time, they just increase naturally depending on what you use. And you can turn off certain skills. So like you actually want to do this. I don't want any XP in any of this stuff. So you want to, whatever you don't want XP in, you want to turn that shit off. Parry. doesn't do anything for me, really. I think it's a melee mostly skill. Yeah, so... I'm not 100% sure, but I know I want athletics, subterfuge, bows. I would like lore too, but it's only for dialogue. That's kind of my issue, so I'll probably just disable that. Focus on these. Plus, lore will give anyone watching this a good reason to play themselves. Play as a mage and have a bunch of lore, and you'll see dialogue. This game has tons of replay value due to the nature of the different choices you can make and factions you can side with.
Phew. I can tell you didn't spend the conquest in a diplomat's tent.
The fighter surveys the fresh corpses and nods with satisfaction.
I'm versed, by the way. But there are more important things to take care of than introductions. Those Vendrian guard we killed didn't come alone.
You fight like a storm. What's your role in the army?
A Scarlet Fury, one of the elite killers of our ignoble gang. You'll see more than a few of us around camp, but don't let that fool you. We're a rare breed. Most of the soldiers in the Scarlet Chorus are little more than farmers and children armed with rusted forks. Makes them easier to control. The voices of Nerat called his best fighters to this siege. There must be something important about Vendrian's well, though don't ask me what. The Archon isn't in the habit of spilling secrets.
Alright, I'm ready when you are.
Eager. I like that. Before we go, you might search among the remains of our fallen comrades. Wherever they're bound, I doubt they'll miss their boots, much less any rings or any useful iron they might be clutching.
Rings. Rings were first introduced by Kairos in the... It's not a ring, it's money. Were first introduced by Kairos in the early years of the Northern Conquest. The currency of the divided realms was questionable value and easy to counterfeit, and rings offered the promise of a shared economy, simple enough for anyone to understand. Today, they are the standard currency across all the known lands of Taratus. Taratus is Kairos' realm, I guess. Their commonality and ease of transportation quickly made rings a preferred unit of trade, even in realms where Kairos' peace is not observed. I see. Nice and practical.
No reason to pity the fallen. Before long, we might wish we'd joined them here. But at least we'll enjoy heavy pockets and warm toes. For the voices of Nerat! Aye.
Oh, nice. Her bow's better than mine. I'm gonna be the... I don't know. She can... This lady can use bows or two weapons, two single-handed weapons, and that's probably what we're gonna do, because I've got first dibs on bows. There's only short bows in this game. That's the only type of bow. I need to figure out what quick save is. Quick save is F6. Eyes forward, no looking back. The Vendrian guard roars with his falx held high, his words largely lost over the din of combat. Stand aside, or your funeral will be at this over the side of this bluff. Seeing you squarely in his path, the soldier points his weapon your way. There is no escape. And for Oathbreakers, no surrender. Then we'll settle this with bronze. The fools don't know when to stop. I like that. As he signals his men to charge, the sound of chanting rises from the south, drawing his attention. Scarlet Chorus reinforcements, hurry! Run down the Oathbreakers, let none escape! From the red mob of reinforcements from the south, a blood chanter emerges at the head of the rabble, the ornamental crest of her staff pulsing with crimson tones. Signing sigils of magic and wordlessly moving her mouth, the blood chanter scribes a series of spells into the air. A red glow surrounds the Vendrian Guard warriors as the chanter's magic worms its way into their minds, blinding them with rage. Hold position, all of you, there! You there, keep to the path! The warrior gestures along the canyon trail, but his soldiers turn their attention to the Scarlet Chorus, roaring challenges. No, don't engage them, we must run! His orders fall on deaf ears. The warrior reluctantly readies his weapon.
To battle! It's useless. Try something else. On my command. Let them.
This game is pretty tough at first, but if it looks hard, it is also on hard. Some of these early fights, if you're on the hardest difficulty, are fucking ridiculous.
Will do.
Come quick, we have a situation on the cliffside. They have the commander. Get some looting before we run over there. Horde bracers. Several skulls, bleached by the sun and picked clean by carrion birds, are spiked on a roughly hewn post. It is the only heraldry. Okay, we read that one. Yeah, just more gruesome trophies. I want to see if... I wish I could make that little thing stay there longer. Little words. Weapons and armor are strewn haphazardly around the cart. Every blade shows signs of rust, and every piece of armor is in need of repair. Oh, we got like a head wrap. What? So like we just picked it up, but where'd it go? That's confusing. Ah, it's going into the party stash. I see, I see. The symbol of the Scarlet Chorus is smeared in blood on the tattered cloth of the tent. No effort has been made to repair the gaping tears. Kairos ordered the original icon of the disfavored erased from memory. For over 100 years, the disfavored have kept the scratched out iconography, wearing it with pride. Huh. That's kind of cool. This torn banner bears the scratched out icon of the disfavored. The army's original symbol has been lost to history, and Graven Ash has never ordered a replacement, preferring the blasted icon over all others. Stow your weapons, or we'll find out how long a man screams before hitting the ravine below. Cornered between a precipitous drop and a band of angry soldiers, the Oathbreaker warrior holds a disfavored officer at knife point. Skewer him! Worry not for me! Graven Ash protects! The disfavored... So, Graven Ash protects is a saying that the disfavored have, but it's also literally true because Graven Ash is an Archon, and like all Archons, they have like magical fucking powers, so... The disfavored are all protected by Archon Graven Ash's mystical Aegis, which just means shield, and many will attest that it allows disfavored to endure truly staggering punishment. However, there are no documented cases of a disfavored surviving decapitation, being sliced in half, or other fatal doses of trauma. It is highly unlikely that Ash's Aegis will save Drastus from his neck being sliced open. So yeah, it's pretty cool that like this. It gives us so much replay value. You can play a much more honorable warrior type inside with them, and there's some other hidden stuff you can do too that I won't spoil. You heard the man. He plainly invited you to use that little blade of yours. What are you waiting for? Permission from your pimp? This blade, with a jerk of the knife, he slices off a clump of Drastus's matted hair. If you're so eager to see your ally dead, just step a little closer. Ooh, that's awesome. Athletics 30. Lower your weapon, then charge forward and take the knife from him. The Oathbreaker cracks a wide smile as you lower your weapon. That's right. Now the rest you drop those weapons. With his attention to the other warriors, you dash forward. He reaches out with his dagger to slay Drastus, but your hand is already on his wrist. With a wrenching twist, you mangle his hand, dropping the dagger harmlessly to the ground. The disfavored warriors rush forward from either side of you. Tyrell barely manages a strained gasp before being hacked and impaled upon their swords and spears. Savage. Kairos be praised! That Oathbreaker fought with the rage of Cairn himself. Drastus slides a trembling hand across the cut on his neck. Thank you, Fatebinder. I thought today was my last. Cairn is another Archon, the Archon of Stone. He accompanied the disfavored on the conquest of the Tears. His temper and proclivity towards destructive solutions often branded him a liability to the otherwise orderly takeover, but his powers were not easily dismissed. During the Azure campaign, Cairn went on a rampage, declaring himself independent of Kairos and the conquest an unlawful sham. Kairos drafted the Edict of Stone to put an end to the rebellious Archon, and his petrified corpse rests in the ruins of Azure to this day. That will be relevant later. From the look of it, guess they thought if they swarmed the pass, maybe one might make it out. We found a few scraps of parchment on the bodies. Drastus holds out a handful of crumpled parchments for your inspection. Literacy is rare in the Northern Empire, where the disfavored are born and trained. Time spent reading and writing is, after all, time not spent sparring and readying one's body and mind for battle. That's interesting. So, most of the disfavored can't read. A student of letters, such as yourself, should be able to make sense of this. Examine the parchment. Repeating the same messages in all different written scripts, the parchment explains the Vendrian Guard's desire to overthrow Kairos' Archons and rout their armies from the Tears. The pages aren't addressed to any specific reader, but rather openly invites all who remain loyal to the Younger Realms to gather at Vendrian's will. Younger Realms just means everyone that's not Kairos. Recruitment material. They were trying to bring more traitors to the fight. Well, from the look of it, we kept them from slipping out of the city. Whatever they hope to accomplish, I think their plan died here. The Archons are expecting you. When you're ready, leave by the gate to the southwest and follow the trails downslope for a few hours. You'll see the campfires leagues away. Can't miss them. Ooh. Quick finger bangles. What is this? No matter how fast they move, these bangles never make a sound. They give you +1 to quickness. I don't really need it. I think she actually might need it more. But whatever, we'll use it for now.
Can't do that.
Always keep
Can't
an
do
eye out
that.
for secrets. I think I might need to go around to get there. What happened here? What's happening here? The prisoner says his name is Tarkus Demos. Drastus lets out a long sigh, tapping his gauntleted finger to his temple. Then I don't think this is a complicated matter. He dies. His family has been a driving force in the Vendrian Guard. Killing him should demoralize whatever's left of the Tarkus clan. We must give the vanquished enemy a chance to serve. That is our law. Smiling with recognition at your presence, the chanter points your way. Chanters are Scarlet Chorus mages. They're like a bunch of bloodthirsty psychopath mages. Just ask the governor here. You understand the wisdom of the Scarlet Chorus? The Overlord does not wish to rule over a ruined crater. We must conquer, but if we show no mercy, we'll have conquered a mountainous stretch of nothing. We'd let you take prisoners, but you can't control them. You'd send these conscripts out on patrol and they never return, defecting all over again. I can't let this nonsense continue. Well, I insist this Oathbreaker be taken to the Voices of Narat, leaving us at an impasse. Fortunately, we have a Fatebinder here to settle the matter for us. The chanter turns to you, an expectant smile creeping across her face. So what say you? What should become of this prisoner? The Corps should be allowed its chance to recruit new warriors. This is the sort of nonsense that got us into the mess we're in now. If we keep showing these mongrels mercy, they'll just bite us time and time again. If it will calm your nerves, I assure you this one won't be put on the battlefield. The mage snaps her fingers loudly, gesturing her gang to listen. Make sure the prisoner is taken straight to the Voices of Narat. I won't keep you here any longer, Fatebinder. I know you have important business in the valley. Drastus salutes you, his iron gauntlet wrapping against his breastplate. For the glory of Kairos. Good little lapdogs. Mocking. Can we actually keep talking to them? No. Another person over here. Kozma. Fatebinder, what an honor it is to have one of Tunon's court visit our humble holdfast. Need supplies? Bursting with energy, the merchant slams her palm down on the top of her crate. If so, you've come to the right place. So, what will it be today? She spreads out a welcoming arm over her wares. I trust that you've been granted proper stewardship of the goods you're peddling. I see, you see, Fatebinder. She cranes her head to the side, scratching her neck. I think so. I've been handed these bits of script. She reaches across the stack of provisions to snatch a scroll case. But I'm not a woman of letters. Numbers are my strength, as you can well imagine. Let me see those. Certainly, good Fatebinder. She hands you the scroll case while wearing a quizzical expression, terrified. A cursory read indicates that this merchant is granted the unlimited right to trade in the logistical capacity. When not supporting an active battle, she has the right to trade grain, copper, and olives anywhere in the tiers. Looks like we have a slight problem here. A problem? But how can that be? I paid a span's profit for the stewardship. What sort of problem is there? Oh wow, you can be a huge fucking asshole. You have a right to trade as part of the active war efforts. I'm going to just be a hard ass. Currently, it would seem our armies are unable or unwilling to fight. Do you see the problem? Oh, I see the problem. Her eyes narrow and her hand slides toward the strings of copper along her waist. Let's skip some steps in this dance, shall we? She holds up a hand with a string of copper rings dangling from her fingers. A donation to the court. Call it a proper fine. Call it tribute to our protection. Just call off your game if you say yes. That'll do. That is so fucked. That's the most honest extortion I've suffered all year. She drops the string of copper rings in her hand, clenching her fist the moment she lets go. Now, if you don't mind, we're through. She waves her hand towards the gate. Safe journey. Oh, now she won't trade with me. That's cool. Wow, okay. Well, that was fun. I guess you can tell her to just give you a discount instead and see what she has, but... Oh well, rip. Sigil of proximate action. All these papers are for mages, and therefore doesn't do anything for me, but we'll save them for the mages. Ooh, we got new gauntlets that are just marginally better. If we get like a cool legendary gauntlet or items, I will read what they like their description, but these don't even, they're just leather gauntlets that are better, so there's nothing really to read. Sterling Hagnon. Here, let's save before I do this. I'm gonna steal his shit. Slow down a moment. I know we're both eager to watch the Archons bicker over tactics like a pair of magpies, but I need to ask you something first. What is it? The voices in Narat told me that you've come as a mediator. Considering the source, well, I can't but feel like I'm only hearing half the story. So let's have it out. What's so special about you? Did the voices in Narat ask you to spy on me? At a loss for words, Verse regards you with momentary unease. Oh, I see. That's Verse talking to me. That was confusing. I thought it was these people. So Verse was saying, slow down, I want to talk to you. My bad. I was confused. I thought it was these people by the wagon, but okay. Well, are you even surprised? He's the Archon of Secrets. Knowing in advance is his business. So is snatching up any advantage over Graven Ash. Those two compete like a couple new recruits for a spot around the fire. It's nothing nefarious. The voice is just curious as to why you're here. If he wanted to know more, you wouldn't be able to suss it out that easily. He would have sent one of his scarier peons in my stead. I'm here to deliver an edict from Kairos. That makes a crazy kind of sense. Considering how long the siege has taxed the armies, I can't understand why Kairos would send you with an edict to speed things along. Have you read it? Do you know what it is? The Archons must claim Ascension Hall by Kairos' Day of the Swords, or all will perish. Ascension Hall is traditional throne room of the Queens of Apex, so it's the capital of this region. The Day of Swords, the 26th of every month or span, is Kairos' day. It is a day of holiday and rest for all those within the Overlord's empire. Each Kairos' day is the last day of its span and is referred to by the span's name. Kairos' Day of Swords, therefore, is the 26th day of the span of swords. One more thing for the Archons to fight over. Well, thanks for cluing me in. If Kairos sends any lightning our way, just tell me when to duck. What else has the voices in Narat told you? Only that I could find you in the Edgering ruins. Truthfully, I could have picked you out of a crowd. You're the only one who hasn't spent the last few months bathing in the shit of the Matani River. She laughs, but there's a forced nature to it. Why so suspicious? It's just a feeling I got. When the Archons are together, the air gets as taut as a bowstring. I can't help but think that no amount of compromise will get them seeing eye to eye. So why invite a mediator from Tunon's court? It doesn't add up. Why do you think the Archons are at odds? I've been with the Scarlet Corps since the early days of the Conquest, so I can say it's been building for a few years now. There's an energy about those two, like a pair of storms moving to collide. I heard tell that Graven Ash and the Voices in Narat shared some bad blood in the Northern Empire, but I don't know any of the particulars. By my authority, the Archons will fall in line. That sounds exactly like the attitude to set this campaign in the right direction. I don't envy you the task of getting them to cooperate, which sounds about as easy as teaching a tornado to heal. At least you sound like you know what you're doing. All right, enough of this. We must meet with the Archons. Hey, don't let me hold you back. I'm sure whatever you're here to do is important enough that you don't need me stepping in your path. The war tent is just past the center of camp. Well, one last thing. Be careful around these disfavored types. They take their work seriously, and most have suffered too many blows to the head. Now I'm gonna save and steal his shit if I can.
That wasn't so hard.
Crescent Runner. Oh, it's like a messenger for the disfavored or something. Hail, Fatebinder. The disfavored scout nods at your approach. Camp's up on ahead. Don't mind us, just clearing out the rabble. I still don't understand what I've done to offend. I respect that these are now disfavored lands, and I'm happy to give the Legion a proper toll, but she's going on about trading rights. What nonsense is that? I'm not allowed to trade one thing for another? It's not like I'm selling weapons to angry peasants or anything of the sort. The Overlord regulates all trade. If you lack the proper permits, your goods are forfeit. A trade permit? Well, how was to whom am I supposed to speak for such a thing? Not us. It's not our problem. Maybe march your ass to the bastard city and plead your case before Tunon, but we'll lighten your burden and relieve you of your wares first. That should make the long trek a bit more bearable. Anything that may be argued before Tunon may be argued before me. What's there to discuss? We should kill this mongrel. The warrior pauses, placing her hand on the front of her mouth. If the Fatebinder wishes to weigh in on the matter, courtesy demands we listen. She clears her throat, looking at you expectantly. This is a disfavored matter, but I know the agents of the court do so love to throw their judgments around. Well, you could rob me now and have my supplies today. The merchant grabs a flask from his cart, or you can leave me alive and have fermented honey all year long. I even know a few family recipes for painkillers and healing drafts. Certainly any army will need these. He uncorks a small ceramic vial, and an aroma of cloves and lanolin assaults your nose. Ooh, we have a hunter special dialogue option. Let's use it. Do you take me for a fool? Those reagents are rare around these parts. Are you sure you didn't steal them from Kairos' forces? I don't. He tenses up, his face red flushing. I don't know what you're getting at. 30 athletics. Pick him up by the collar. How stupid do you think I am? Slow down. I'll tell you everything. Don't hurt me. I found most everything out of the forest in the valley. I keep my head low when I heard sounds of combat. When I'd take a look, and grab whatever wasn't claimed by the first victors. So then you stole from the disfavored Jed. How else did you get your hands on that iron? The scout points to the merchant's cart. You would come here and sell us our own armaments? If anything has an owner, I will return it, but this iron would have turned to rust if left in the mud on the battlefields. The disfavored are few in number. Is that not right? You need a man like me to gather up supplies. That would otherwise go to waste. You may trade. I don't fuck the disfavored. You may trade your wares freely, but lie again and I will have you killed. But he has no permits. You're allowing this lowborn wretch to profit when he should toil like any other conquered tearsman? I mean, I'm a lowborn wretch that these people despise, so fuck you. Yeah, I have some sympathy. Fatebinder, it is your right to settle disputes when we lock horns with the chorus, but you have no authority in this matter. Step closer. Are you questioning my judgment? I am. You have the right to step in when we disagree with the chorus, but this fool is not sworn to an Archon and has no protection. The scout runs her hand along her temple, letting out a long hiss of frustration before throwing her arms in the air. You know what? Have it your way, Fatebinder. This isn't worth a court summons from Tunon. My deepest thanks. I thought I was about to be robbed and left for dead. Here, I thought the disfavor would thank me. for trying to bring in fresh provisions. I'll be sure to keep my head down and not make any waves. Yeah. You really can't trust anyone in Kairos' army. They're gonna fucking do brutal, merciless shit. I want to look around and see the map. Oh, never mind. I think most of the map is just the camp, but we'll look around outside, see if there's any goodies. A humble grave lies before you. A battered sword has been used as the marker.
A modest grave for the Archon's son, Brennix. We don't bother with funeral rites in the chorus. No point in thanking conscripts for their duty.
The initial B is deeply engraved into the iron.
Sorry, I can't.
The gate guard holds up a warning hand. Go no farther. You approach disfavored ground. State your business. I'm Siren, Tunon's Fatebinder. I bring word from Kairos for your commander's ears. Or, I am Tunon's Fatebinder. Stand aside. I am expected. Oh, I'm going to try to piss off the disfavored every chance I get. Oh, so you're the fire starter. Oh, okay. Another title I got from the conquest. In 430 TR, the final year of the conquest of the Tears, the sages of the Vellum Citadel were expected to surrender without a fight. When the sages violently defended themselves in a prolonged siege, Kairos unleashed an edict of fire, reducing the library fortress to smoldering ruins. You were given the honor of proclaiming this edict of fire, and to those present, you are often known as the fire starter. Though your orders left it vague as to when you should proclaim the edict, you chose to give the sages a few hours' warning. The Scarlet Chorus soldiers seemed fine with your decision, claiming they had spies among the sages who deserved to escape, but the disfavored view the decision more coldly and consider it coddling the enemy. Sevius and the companies returned from the burning library are telling some harrowing stories about Kairos' edict of fire. I think myself brave, but I'm happy to have been far away from it all. Must have been a terrifying honor to be the messenger of such a righteous force. Go on in. The soldier gestures toward the camp. The Archons are expecting you. You'll find them in the war tent at the center of the camp. Sorry if I stumble on the words sometimes. It's a lot of text. I can read just fine. Just let me warm up to this shit. The table is lined with various medicinal herbs. It would appear that they have been carefully rationed. Carefully skinned game hang from this branch. They appear sickly and malnourished. Oh, cool. There's animals over here. Itty bitty little boar. That's cool.
That wasn't so hard. Sorry, I can't. Ah, got it!
Bitter quip. Glory to the forces of Narat! Projecting his salutation for all to hear, the grinning blood chanter raps his staff against the ground as you approach. Fatebinder Siren, I presume. His smile quickly retreats, giving away to a sour scowl. I am Bitter Quip. I am here as the emissary of the Scarlet Chorus. He looks at you impatiently. So what's it like working with the disfavored? He scoffs, looking away from you a moment before returning his attention to you. Reporting to the Iron Hag is an insult. Iron Hag is what they call Graven Ash, which if the disfavored would hear that, they'd try to kill you. Oh, never mind. The Iron Hag is someone else. It must be a female general of Graven Ash. Anyway, she fought one duel for her title. One? Her leadership must be continuously proven, earned, and defended. Weakness should bleed to the bottom of the army, not rise to the top. My assignment here is also an insult, but one I will bear for the good of the chorus. If only to see with my own eyes the failure of the disfavored. This will be a fine day. What can you tell me about the Scarlet Chorus? The chorus is the future of the tiers. I feel only derision and pity for those that fear our inevitable ascension. He looks at you with a raised eyebrow. So what in particular do you want to know? Tell me about the voices in Arat. He is supreme commander and public servant. He who sets us free, but directs us all. Bitterquip smiles as he talks, his face turning flush. The voices in Arat is the epitome of what each of us can be, a magician without equal and the leader of uncountable numbers. The voice and the chorus are one, conquering, expanding, growing, changing, always stronger. He pounds his staff into the ground. Glory to the voices. How did you come to join the Scarlet Chorus? The doctrine of strength speaks to me, and I answered its call, as did some of my arcane peers. I took to the chorus almost instantly. Unlike most, I cried not for the life of comfort lost to me. My magic invokes fear and terror, and I easily established my dominance over a pack in my early days in the chorus. So he became a pack leader. If you're so curious about it all, perhaps you should visit our camp and see for yourself. So what do you do in the chorus? I am a blood chanter. My magic can turn the will of man and the tide of battle. I have held command for 3 years now. Though being forced to keep an eye on the disfavored is not the reward I had envisioned for my service thus far. It sounds like you really like the voices in Arat. He blinks and scowls, saying nothing. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like you saying you love Joseph Stalin. You really have to say it, even if you don't. Or else you'll end up dead. A meager portion of game simmers in the large copper pot. Fragrant spices attempt to mask the potent smell of whatever creature they decided to cook on the campfire. We're going to go to the war tent last and talk to everybody around the camp first. From your vantage point, you see tents trail off, obscured by the rising smoke of campfires. The soldiers you see appear somber and quiet, as calm before the storm. I am Lucia. This is Marcus. The disfavored soldier points to the armored man next to her. And you must be the Fate Binder. From under her helmet, you hear an audible scoff. Pfft, we've been assigned to your hospitality, he interjects, while you remain on disfavored ground. If you should need a place to rest, we can make the necessary preparations. What can we do for you? Hunter. Hunter special. Is there any sport to be found in Apex, or do we only fight among ourselves? If you're referring to game, the chorus hunted many of the animals to obscurity on the first wave of the conquest. Most of the meat we have to spare is salted, and perhaps more importantly, northern. I don't trust southerners to keep their livestock nourished. The few animals we keep in pens or pits are for the higher officers. I'm sure you're entitled to a haunch or something of something or other, and I'd love to watch you eat it just to remember the taste of fresh meat. Marcus, tell me about yourself. Not sure there's much to tell. I trained at Fort Resolution. This is my first campaign, and I'm proud to be with the Legion. I was wounded at the Gates of Judgment, but Graven Ash's protection mended me good. I owe my life to him. Are you bragging that you let your guard down and took a spear to the gut? You really shouldn't boast about a filthy tearsman besting you in battle. You're just bitter that Lord Ash never seems to notice you. In all seriousness, I would take that spear again if it brought honor to the disfavored. Kairos knows we could use it. We are the elite fighters of the Northern Army, but somehow we still lack the Overlord's confidence. Lucia, how about you? I do this. She unenthusiastically lifts up her spear and shield. And I do this. She mockingly stabs the air with her spear. She shrugs. Playing host is not my strong suit. Ignore my sarcasm. I've seen the Legion through my share of the campaign. After so much bloodshed, our pretenses of honor can wear me down. She turns a cautious eye your way. The North is my home, and I consider each and every one of the ironclad bastards in this camp to be family. You won't find another army where each member of the phalanx is as beloved and cherished as the next. You seem handy with a weapon, Lucia. Okay, so these are special dialogue options that you have to have good favor with the disfavored to get anything, so... What's it like serving with the disfavored? In spite of our name, the Legion commands more honor than any military on the face of Taratus. Unlike the chorus, there is tradition, discipline, teamwork, and unity of purpose. He looks out across the camp. There aren't many of us, but it's better that way. We're a tightly knit family, bound together by trust and glory. Accurate enough, she shrugs. After seeing the disunity and bickering of the younger realm defenders, I feel lucky to be in the most agreeable legion of Kyrus' host, even if we're not always the most efficient. If the legion is so honorable, why are they called the disfavored? They won't tell me. Okay, I'll read it anyway, even though they won't tell me. I'm afraid that isn't for me to say. Others around the camp might be able to tell you more, but I don't freely discuss our history with outsiders. Yep. Train me? So you can buy training kind of like Skyrim. I'm not interested in any of that training right now.
Interesting.
Fresh straw in the corner of this prison cell absorbs much of the stench. This sparring dummy shows the deep gouges of hard use. Functionally the same, but I like how that one looks more, so we'll use it. I don't like all that spiky shit. Isotonus. Oh, he's got a locked chest. Let's see. I guess you can just steal in this game and nobody cares. Ooh, we got a helmet. It gives us balancing act? What's that? What was that? It said balancing act. I don't know what that means, but whatever. Oh, okay. There's a dialogue icon next to my friend. I don't know if that means... I'll wait to speak with my companions in a little bit. Isotanus curses the air as a blade of thin iron breaks in half beneath his hammer. Repairing weapons with scrap isn't exactly why I got into this craft, but our supplies are spent. He wipes sweat from his brow to get a better look at you. Why not forge bronze? Bronze will do in a pinch, don't get me wrong. It can take a beating, and it's bent back into shape. It can be bent back into shape, unlike stubborn iron we have. He glances at the pile of his work with dread, and we always have plenty of tin and copper lying around, so supplies aren't the problem. It's a rare smith who can churn out military-grade bronze consistently. More often than not, it comes out soft. Look around the camp. We're garbing the Legion head to toe in iron because it's cheaper and easier to produce for the masses. We couldn't do that with bronze. They called the disfavored the Iron Legion for a reason. Strategy and skill may be our backbone, but our claws are made of iron, the good stuff that comes from the Smiths and Lethian's Crossing. So why not forge your own? Only the forge-bound Smiths can make the stuff. They know the secret of iron. All I can do is mend and maintain their craft. It takes a master, no, an artist, to make a piece of iron fit for an indomitable soldier such as a disfavored. So you mentioned an iron shortage? I'm afraid so. The last shipment sent down the Mittani, which I guess is a big river, went missing near Echo Call Crossing, and I'm afraid we won't be seeing any more now that the valley is sealed. Forge-bound iron is Tunan's responsibility. Why is this the first I'm hearing of it? Keep your voice down. He flinches and lowers his own. Graven Ash doesn't want to cause a panic or pass any information to the Vendrian Guard. Rebels. Best case scenario, the iron stumbled off a boat and is rusting on a riverbed. Worst case, it ends up in enemy hands. If I find myself an echo call, I will keep an eye out for your iron. I appreciate that, as does the great general, more than you might guess. Maybe he isn't quick to offer thanks to the outsiders, but I know he'll be grateful for your help. It would be a boon to the war effort if the iron was recovered. I'm here to help, even if that means cleaning up the Archon's mess. No need to salt the wound, Fatebinder. None of us is mistaken in thinking that the siege has gone as planned. He glances to the crate beside him and points to a small set of notches on the wood. You see that? That is how we tell apart our iron shipments from the rest. Inconspicuous so people don't go snooping around. You want to keep an eye out for these. Good hunting. You need something else? Sure, show me what you got. It's all heavy armor stuff. Heavy armor impacts your speed, and I'm an archer, so I'm all about I need to get more attacks downrange, so I will not be wearing heavy armor unless it's really fucking good for me. Alright, we will enter the command tent on the next episode.